Hey, what's up guys, Chris here, and in this video I want to talk about abortion. Now, I'm going to first talk about what the Bible has to say about it, and then I'll go into some scientific evidence that supports that life begins at conception, that is, when sperm enters the egg. So, the Bible doesn't specifically talk about abortion, but we can get some information from it that will help us decide if it is right or wrong. So, in the Old Testament, it gives a punishment for anyone who hits a pregnant woman and the child inside of her ends up being born with a defect and some kind of injury, or even has died. So clearly it's thought that the child inside of her was living, it was a human being, and so the person murdered it. So if we go by that, then us as Christians should view abortion as murder. It is killing a child, and it's not correct. Now, giving some scientific evidence to back that up even more, I'm going to read from a site that gives 41 quotes from medical textbooks that supports that life begins at conception. So I'll go ahead and read those, and you can find the link in the description, and you can read all the ones that I've read and then all the rest of them. I'm not going to read all of them because that will take quite a long time. But yeah, I'm going to read a few and then we'll go through it and talk a bit more about it. So, here we go. The life cycle of mammals begins when a sperm enters an egg. Fertilization is the process by which male and female haploid gametes, sperm and egg, unite to produce a genetically distinct individual. Fertilization, the fusion of gametes to produce a new organism, is the culmination of a multitude of intricately regulated cellular processes. Human life begins at fertilization, the process during which a male gamete or sperm unites with a female gamete to form a single cell called a zygote. This highly specialized totipotent cell marked the beginning of each of us as a unique individual. A zygote is the beginning of a new human being. In the fraction of a second, when the chromosomes form pairs, the sex of the new child will be determined, hereditary characteristics received from each parent will be set, and a new life will have begun. It should always be remembered that many organs are still not completely developed by full term, and birth should be regarded only as an incident in the whole developmental process. Now, that last one I want to talk about even more. From our view, the pro-life view, life begins at conception, which all of these medical textbooks agree life does begin at conception, and from there, it is just stages of development. It goes from a zygote to an embryo, and then we're born, and I'm probably skipping a lot of steps, I know I am, and because at each step we're growing, and even after we're born, we're still not fully developed. It still continues. So, and there's no logical reasoning to suggest that life begins, or we become human right at the moment of birth, or somewhere before then or after that. It only makes most logical sense to go all the way before that, at the moment when it first begins, the moment of conception. So that it's supported from the Bible and scientific evidence that life begins at conception. So if we go by that, then it's basically legalized murder. Abortion is basically legalized murder. And as of right now, the last number I've seen was that since the Roe versus Wade Supreme Court decision that made abortion legal, 56 million babies have been aborted. So, if we're going by the scientific evidence, that means that 56 million children have been murdered. Now, I'm not trying to appeal to emotion here, but it's kind of impossible to not do such after we've objectively looked at the evidence and what the Bible has to say, and then apply that to this idea of abortion. Clearly, if life begins at conception and someone kills it, through even if it's legalized, then that is clearly murder. So that's, if you want to discuss this more, feel free to email me at discuss.theservantofthelord@gmail.com. And I don't know really much what else to say about it because everything's been laid out. So that's all. Have an awesome day, and God bless you.